Okay, so I'll be explaining here
Alright, so welcome everyone, welcome to AGDQ.
the stuff that happened in this run.
If you want to be a bit more specific.
And yeah, here we had some issues, some technical issues, were not on my side. They were just on the actual
I'll explain that.
GDQ side. You know, it's like I think they had like a new layout and whatnot. So yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, we had a few issues with that, and now I'll jump to this. Yo, what is up? Sipping. Okay. Welcome back to the VIP. How you doing?
Alright.
So yeah, I'll explain a little bit here.
Alright, welcome everyone from AGDQ. This is Nioh 2. It's an awesome game, otherwise it wouldn't be here. And we're gonna do Nioh 2 20% featherless on PS5. For anyone wondering what featherless means, it means that we are not allowed to use some ninjutsu spells that are very powerful called.
I'll not talk too much unless I already have to say something else. Just so because I don't have that much time. Like I don't want to like go to sleep super late. So yeah, I'll just let this play and just pause on certain points just to explain some stuff.
Feathers, and yeah, that's basically the main idea behind this category. And yeah, I'm gonna be using the Maeda clan for the speedrun. That's the only thing that is kind of outside of what you are gonna be able to see in the run. And I'll explain most of the mechanics as soon as possible, because there's a lot of details to use. Also, this is Campus Splash. It's gonna
No
watch over
health
as well.
spells? What? What do you mean no health
And
spells?
Yeah. The run will start in about 15 seconds.
So yeah, like over here, like there's not a whole lot to explain.
2, 1, let's go. Okay, so we're in the interim, which is the beginning area. We're gonna switch to low stands and to the other main weapon. We're gonna select the sword and the axe. Sword is gonna be mainly used for movement. The axe is gonna be used for damage. We're gonna get the Makami spirit, which has the root yokai shift form. And we're gonna leave this place and remove that pop-up. So this is the remastered version on PS5, so the loads are pretty fast in comparison to other versions, unless you have a really fast PC on the PC version. And yeah, we're on the first mission. This game has 7 regions for about 3 main missions each. We're gonna do the main missions. We're gonna focus on gathering some elements like spirit stones and anima items. I'll get onto that as well in a moment. I'll remove my armor because it's not really useful at the moment and it was wearing me down a little bit.
So just to clarify, I only needed to remove like a one piece, I think, in order to fire and force of will. But there's also like the other one. It's like they are called feathers in the game as well. I could show you, but I don't want to like turn on my PS5 or anything. They're called feathers in the game as well. But yeah, like if you go to the description, it tells. It's like 3 types of spells. It's like one for water, another one for fire, and another one for lightning. But yeah, I didn't explain, but yeah, I only needed to remove one piece in order to like go to the A agility class. Not agility class, you know, agility type. But I remove everything just so. I mean, 1 because it looks better, and 2 because it's less annoying to deal with later when I have to update my armor. So yeah, anime run, yeah. Yo, Bonton. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Honestly, like I'll also say this, I did not expect when I submitted this, I what I expected the most, or my more or less expectations were, was that I wasn't gonna get in. But not only did I get in, I got in as the first run in the marathon. I think there were two main factors for this. One factor is that I didn't submit any kind of incentive, so it's kind of fitting for the start. So like you put something that doesn't have an incentive at the start, so other things that do have incentives are later on, so they have a bit more time for that. And the other one was that I don't know, maybe they they thought like they should put this kind of run which is like less known about at the start, and they thought it was like underrated because it is underrated. I don't know, but I think the biggest one was the first one.
And okay, so
Also a
this game
schedule,
has,
of course,
as you can
but
see,
yeah.
an HP bar, a bar that goes up and down, or no, left and right, I guess. Which is the key bar, similar to a stamina bar but with more nuances. And then below that is the anima bar.
Yeah. Every time that I mention a stamina bar or stamina whatever, it's just to simplify things, because otherwise people are gonna get more confused. That's all.
Anima bar is going to be used for yokai abilities and well, burst counters rather. And besides that,
I didn't explain the burst counters or the thing, but the burst counters take one anima. I didn't explain that. Like you can see it in the run, obviously, but they take one anima. I didn't explain how much they do or what they are exactly, but you know, it's okay. Like in my defense, there's a lot of things to explain in this game. Any more nervous? Honestly, I felt more nervous after the run than before or during the run. I I get distracted at some points, but in terms of focus and nervousness, I'm good when I do runs. Like for me, this one wasn't that different than the other runs that I've done on ESA or RPG Limit Break or Speed Souls. Like I did the same thing. It's just that the route was also a bit more updated. It's a bit more optimized. I also got way more unlucky, so that's why it was slower. Otherwise, it would have been faster than the other ones. But yeah.
We also have 3 stances: low, mid.
And when you say like the worst is not first, I didn't mean it like oh yeah, it's the worst run. No, it's like what I mean to say is that it is not a very known run. It's kind of obscure, so to speak, for how good it is. Granted, like if you run this category specifically, or you know any category, honestly, in this game, it is very frustrating at times, but it's also very satisfying and it's really cool, in my opinion. Like the featherless runs. So in my opinion, like the run is actually really good. It's just that it has some downfalls in terms of like consistency and all that stuff. You're gonna see that later, but yeah. Heard from your runner that GDQ doesn't like duplicate run types in sequential GDQs, so you're hoping your run gets approved next time. Yeah, like I think this run right here, at least in my mind right now, is probably gonna be the last Nioh 2 run that I submit to a marathon. I could like the reason that because of that is I've already done with DLCs. Granted, it was a very not optimized route by the time because the DLCs were kind of recent still, and I didn't have that much time, and there were also some patches and whatnot. And later on, the route was optimized. But on ESA Winter from last year, I did the run with the DLCs, and then on the last 3 runs, including this one, I've done this category with a bit more optimizing every time because it still was improving the route. And you know, I actually have quite a few more tricks than the one on RPG Limit Break. But yeah, I feel like I have already shown the game enough, and I'm kind of burnt of the game. I still have some stuff to do that I will finish, but I want to also get on with other stuff. So I won't really stay with Nioh 2 for too long past this point. I still have some stuff, so I'll get to that. But yeah, I'm not gonna stay too long on that.
Low stance, middle stance, and high stance.
But yeah, I hope
Low stance is
your
for
run gets
movement,
approved as well.
And
Bolton.
evasion. Mid stance is balance, and high stance is power stance, basically. Okay, so this is the dark realm.
Yeah, about the stances, like I said, evasion, balance, and power. You can still attack on low stance. It's not only evasion. In fact, I actually use the low stance every now and then for Titanic Strength later. But you know, simplifying things.
Right here, we're on the dark realm where our key recovery is reduced by quite a bit, but everything yokai is stronger, and we'll also get some benefit from that at some points.
I'll explain this later. Like when I say later, I mean like near the end of the run. But I didn't mention at this point that on the Dark Realm you also get more anima gain when attacking. Well, actually anima gain period. But yeah, I didn't explain that. I didn't explain how you get anima either. Is the kind of thing that you don't think about because you're busy thinking about other stuff. So yeah, one of the bad things about this game that you need to explain so many things, which is another thing why I don't have a commentator, because I really want to talk about certain stuff and whatnot. Like it doesn't mix well with another commentator, especially if they are not on the same side as I am. Like they are not like right next to me, because it's harder to communicate otherwise. So unless things are extremely clear, it's more confusing. So that's why I went without commentary. Okay.
Yeah, we're on to the first boss. The first boss is gonna be Mizuki. It's like a horse demon with a cleaver.
Or, you know, I did
right now
my
we
own
do not
commentary.
have any kind of skills. We need to build our proficiency for that. So we're gonna do high stance strong attacks for this fight.
I messed up my dodges here quite a bit. Like that's not supposed to be a block. I'm supposed to dodge, but my timing was a bit off.
So yeah, as you can see, I'm doing a keep hold right there to recover my key, and also cancel an animation, like the animation of the attack in this case. We're gonna use that later, and this is the effect of the Myla clan, where when I'm grappling, the enemy gets defense reducement. You know, I remove his defense.
The good English right there.
Now we're gonna grapple and finish the fight. If I didn't finish the fight by grappling, I would have to do another grapple, so we skip that.
Yeah, that's actually the first skip of the run.
Pretty easy.
You don't normally think about it as a skip, but yeah, it's technically a skip.
Yokai ability. I'm gonna do a little bit of menu setup, just to get rid of pop-ups and make things a bit faster later. Alright.
This game doesn't really have many skips at all. Like
this is Tokichiro.
it actually got more skips recently, just because of the new tech.
Yeah, we do like him.
With the animation cancel when keep pulsing, but yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't really have.
So the Masaru, we're not gonna use Masaru right now, but later on it's gonna be useful. And we're gonna equip the Mizuki Soul Core.
It's more about the bosses.
Skip the cutscene and go to the next mission. Now that I got on with a basic idea of the combat mechanics and all that stuff, we're gonna complicate it a little bit more. There's magic in this game, and the magics that we're gonna use are gonna be mainly the Purity Talisman, but also the Water Talisman and the Lightning Talisman. Those are gonna buff our weapon, and in the case of Purity, when they all of those apply that element to the enemy, right? And depending on the resistance, they will get debuffed. So when that happens, this is a mandatory enemy, by the way.
By the way, if
when that happens,
if I ever look a bit stressed, it's mainly because I'm trying to think of the commentary. It's mainly like the commentary thing. Like I'm trying to like not get stuck with my commentary too much, because you know it's harder to commentate when you're focusing on another thing. That's gonna happen later, especially. But yeah,
they're gonna get a specific debuff and debuff depending on the element. So in the case of Purity, they will take more key damage. In the case of Water, they'll take more damage. I'm gonna attack a bit more before that. There we go. And in the case of Lightning, they're gonna get movement reduction.
I didn't explain fire, but it's pretty obvious. It's just damage over time.
Okay, we do not really care about that Soul Core, so we're gonna avoid it. It's a really good Soul Core, but for the purposes of the run, we're not gonna be using it. I'm gonna get some proficiency by killing these Gakis right here. There we go, got all the proficiency, so now we can get a skill point, which we're gonna use for Heaven and Earth, our first skill for the axe. Speaking of axe, I'm actually gonna change it to a slightly better one that I got.
My menus were pretty
Not the
bad in this
hammer.
run, honestly.
Hammers do more key damage, but less damage. So in the run, we do not like hammers, actually.
It's mainly
So we'll avoid those unless we are really bad in terms of a good axe.
It's mainly the commentary while doing
So
menu.
over here, we're gonna get an item while we avoid these enemies. Okay. Not my best job at doing that.
The thing that messed up me the most was this. So right here, instead of going forward, I went a bit to the side. So I started doing those side dashes that are kind of awkward with the sword.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
not my best.
That kind of messed up my line.
That's fine. Okay, going through the fire. It's okay. This is fine. We're gonna get our first.
I saw the because I rewatched the run, of course, with the chat and all that stuff. People were later on, especially, talking about the "this is fine" as the or "it's fine" as the quote of the run. You know, it's what happens. Like you start saying some stuff because you know you want to clarify that things are not that bad. And you know, I just rely on "it's fine."
Point for magic, which we're gonna get by getting a Omnium Mage Lock. Yeah, there we go. And while we open that, we learn the Heaven and Earth for the axe. It's gonna be one of the main skills on the run.
The Nenra fight went pretty
So
badly.
this is fine. We are not gonna level up just yet. We're gonna get Purification Talisman, which is pretty much the most useful one. We're gonna slot in a couple of those, and we're gonna go to the second boss of the run, which is Enenra. And if everything goes well, this is, even if I do perfect execution, it's still RNG, so I might not get it. But if everything goes well, I'll defeat it in 20 seconds. Let's see. Okay.
I'll definitely recommend checking. I'm guessing at least in one of my runs, there should be like the fast kill on an Enra. It's kind of rare because there's a lot of things that need to happen, but I'll explain right now what didn't happen. So it's normal.
Red counter.
And okay, right here I have 300 and I think it's 39 or 9. I don't know. So I can kind of blurry the number.
Okay.
So right there, yo Crash Bandicoot, thank you for the 8 bits. Welcome. Right there, what's supposed to happen is that I get more than 0 key. If I have more than 0 key, I can do the Heaven and Earth, and then after that I do a burst counter, you know, a brute counter in this case, and then I do a Mizuki, and then grapple, and then the boss has like less than half HP. Basically, that's what happens. But you know that didn't happen because I didn't have that that key. It's annoying, but it happens. It's like it's very particular. It depends on the water falling. It depends on if the boss is nice enough to not jump or do something weird. So you know, it's a setup that works if you're lucky enough.
I didn't get all the key.
And yeah, that even then, I got even unluckier because for some reason Mizuki did not reach. Normally that Mizuki reaches, but yeah, that wasn't the case there.
Actually, pretty bad. It's fine.
And yeah,
it's fine.
Transitioned. Time ran out.
We know what to do.
And here, I was taking it a bit. Honestly, I was taking it too safe. Because I didn't want to die here at all. And I was trying to get the brute counter to hit that, but I didn't want to unlock.
For this fight.
So you know, kind of. Yeah, now I do that, and I start recovering more ground. But yeah, it was a bad fight. It was a bad
this fight went really slowly. It is what it is. I'm gonna defeat the boss right now. So yeah, sadly you couldn't see the fastest strat, but it's RNG dependent, and like I said.
Yeah, even in that bad RNG, I could have done things faster, but I played it like super safe.
Just to keep up the sword a bit more fresh. Next up is a mission that is the one that I practice the most before marathons.
This is true.
So hopefully that won't go too badly.
It's actually the only one that I practice before marathons.
The first 30 minutes of the game, I would say, are probably the most concerning ones in terms of running this game, or this category in particular. But yeah, alright. So in this mission, we're gonna be fighting a big snake with a bunch of poison everywhere. And it tends to be a wall for a lot of players in the first time that they play this game. So hopefully it won't go too badly. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna get the safety shrine anyway. So
I didn't need
I get hit there.
to get that travel amulet right here. I can get another one, but you know, I'm so used to doing runs with DLCs that where you get like 2 extra ones, one extra here and then another one on the DLC. That, you know, I just went with that. Yo, Nellycat, welcome.
Got the travel amulet for later. I have another spot to get another one, but I like to get that one just so I already have one just in case.
This is partially true.
We're gonna get more spirit stones. I used one just to set up the Amrita meter. Amrita meter is the meter that says 26 right now.
A little peek.
On the top left.
Can I check if it's on?
And it's gonna be full in this boss fight, unless things go really badly. This is campus. It's like the plushie right there. It gives us.
I feel like at some point I should upgrade my capture card.
Enemies, so it's really good.
Works well, but feels like it's a bit lacking sometimes.
Of purity and get in the fight. Okay, we're gonna start with Heaven and Earth. Hippos, roll, attack once, avoid that. Mizuki.
Here, I should have just gotten close first, but you know,
that's good. Grapple and buff again, just to refresh the purity buff. Heaven and Earth, Mizuki. Alright.
And here I got a bit unlucky with that
good
pattern, but you know, it's fine. Here I got lucky actually, because she decided to do that.
Alright. So with this we're gonna actually...
Yeah, and from here it's just doing the final strat. Grappling, Pop Yokai Shift, Guardian Spirit attack, grapple, and then finish with Mizuki. That's CG. That's like a true combo.
Engage the full strat. We're gonna grapple, pop Jokai Shift, Guardian Spirit attack, key pulse, grapple, and finish the fight with a Mizuki.
Easy.
There we go. Fights are not going specifically fast, but you know, it's fine. So we got to Kagemaru
It was not a bad fight,
and the
honestly.
Bandit Axe.
Compared to the Ninja fight, was like
Bandit Axe is more important than Kagemaru, but I messed up a little bit there.
if the Ninja fight was like a 4 or maybe even less, the Snake fight was maybe a 7. So yeah.
In the menu. Okay, so next up we're gonna actually use and equip this Soul Core right here, the Yatsunokami Soul Core, and replace the Mizuki one. I'm gonna change region. I'll do a dojo mission, which is gonna be important for the skills that we're gonna use. Now we have some time to read stuff.
Yo, Munshi, welcome. In this dojo, I actually got distracted at the start. I was kind of worried, like, why are they not reading?
Do we have anything to read?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
We have $25 from Nioh.
So that's why I did the dash, because I'm just focusing on they're not reading what's going on. So I just started dashing because that's what you normally do at the start of the missions, except for this one. But yeah. I'm not gonna Munchi, I'm not gonna talk about it publicly, Munchi. I prefer to keep that, you know, about other commentators and whatnot. Like I rather like not talk about it publicly, because yeah. But yeah, the rocker are newbies melted in seconds. Speedrunners are another breed. Yeah.
Says glad for GDQ to be back in.
Actually, like Yatsunokami on, it's usually like it's actually pretty easy later on as you get more soul cores and more tools, but it can get really tough if you are like severely underbuilt or underleveled or under-equipped for the version of Yatsunokami that you're fighting. Like it can be tougher than other bosses, mainly because the snakes also, like the snake arms also scale up, so they become tankier, and the snake doesn't get staggered so easily. So if that happens, then it becomes hard again. So the main thing is that as long as you can deal with the mini snakes fast, Yatsunokami is actually very easy. Otherwise, it can be a nightmare. That's the main idea about Yatsunokami.
Running. Let's get our dose of nanomachines, rain, and repeating exposition. We also have $20 from Sergio
Yo, Lobas, welcome.
that says, it's that lovely time of year again. Let's get this event started. I'll be here all week. Let's hope this loop doesn't affect
I'm glad you liked it in the run. I'm happy that people enjoyed it, because honestly, it's a very underrated run.
Alrighty, we have $250 from
Or
Marcus that
game
says,
as a
let's
speed
get
game.
this AGDQ off right. Here's to a great week and a lot of great runs.
And a game overall as well.
Alright, thank you. We're
honestly
on to the first mission of the second region. Remember, there are 7 regions in this game. And I'll be explaining a bit.
Like, it got more popularity with the second entry, of course, because the second entry, you know, Nioh 2 is it's really good. It's quite better than the first one. But even then, I feel like it's still like quite underrated. Your first run of Nioh 2 spent like 120 hours. Yeah, like, especially if you didn't have experience with Nioh 1, the first time can be pretty rough. In my case, it wasn't like that. I had to nerf myself. I plan on nerfing myself because, yeah, it's pretty insane. Had to nerf myself on my first playthrough because when you already know enough about the game, the first playthrough can be not that challenging, and you know you need to go on like challenge runs or like higher ranges to actually get an actual solid challenge, unless you nerf yourself. So yeah, it's all 6+ millions. Damn. It feels like it's more underrated, but I think it's just getting. Honestly, it's getting more and more popular lately, and I'm glad because it really deserves it. It's not a perfect game, you know. It still has some flaws, depending on your point of view. Ones or others, yes, but it's actually really good. Unless it's not your kind of game, it's fucking great, honestly.
Something a bit more complicated, but I'm gonna do a backflip in front of my Toshie, and he's so impressed that he lets us through, and we can progress through.
People like this one. This is like the. I think I commented this on literally every marathon run. Like, do a backflip, and Maeda is so impressed that he lets us through. People like it. Yo, Danny Wolf, welcome. I don't know, I like it as a commentary, so I think it's pretty nice. As a comment.
Alright. So now I'm gonna do the first level up, and I'm gonna get Flax 2, which I'll explain in a moment, and I'll get Water and Lightning, which I already explained.
Honestly, I'm also very
I didn't
impressed
explain
by
one
people
thing,
doing backflips.
But I'll get on with it a bit later.
Like, as a kid, or as a teenager, actually, I wanted to do backflips. I wanted to learn them, but I never got around doing that, so I never learned them. And yeah, it's still pretty impressive. I know that, for example, for people who do parkour, which I tried at one point in my teen age or years, for people who do parkour, backflipping is like a super casual thing to do, and you know, for people who actually know how to do it, like it's something that you learn it and it's really easy. But you know, for people who actually never got to learn that, it's still very impressive, man.
Later. First, let's talk about
subscribe on my
Flax.
channel.
So Flax is the mechanic of a game where
Okay, on Twitch, I got like 100 plus followers. I don't know how many exactly, because I normally have the followers turned off because, you know, bots and whatnot. It's kind of messy. YouTube, I didn't notice any big change. So yeah, that's about it.
if you have the skill for it, meaning Flax or Flax 2, you can keep pulse and switch stance, and that would recover more ki. And if you switch stances again to a new stance and you have Flax 2, then you recover even more ki. So we're gonna use that a lot in order to attack more often, so we don't have to wait.
Yo, Infame, thank you. I'm glad people enjoy it, but I kind of disagree with the. It's hard to do it for 80,000 people. When I do it around like this, I only get nervous after the fact because people are start messaging me and all that stuff, like congratulating me. It's really cool, but it gets me nervous. When I'm doing the run and right before the run, I'm just focusing on the commentary, focusing on the run. I don't think about like how many people are watching, and that for me that's not an actual how I say it parameter. Like it's outside of the thing. I'm just focusing on what I need to do. So, for example, what I do in runs like this, unless they say you should interact with chat and whatnot, like that has happened before, I normally just don't have chat. Because if I have chat, I enter chat mode. And I cannot focus on the commentary and the run and all that stuff. So for these runs, I need to go full focus, and I cannot think of anything else. So that's why it's not a factor.
For the key to regen.
Oh, thank you, Munchi.
So we're gonna get 11 Constitution, 8 Magic, and 6 Skill. I'm gonna get Flux 2.
Then again, I'm used to doing that, so 80,000 times, not so many, but yeah.
You already saw the confusion, but basically when you have two elements.
Okay. See ya, Munchi. Thanks for stopping by.
From elements, you will proc confusion.
Okay, so one thing, I got one extra level right there that I normally have. Normally I have 11 and 8. I don't go for an extra one on skill. Sorry. But you know, since safety shrines and all that stuff, you get an extra level, so that's cool. And yeah, that's why I put an extra one on skill. Later on, I'm gonna actually be behind in levels. Not exactly sure why early, but then later on I know why. So yeah.
And what Confusion does is, on yokais, it will prevent them from recovering ki and transitioning between phases. And in humans, they will actually have less ki recovery. But on top of that, for both of them, they'll take more damage. So it's really good. Alright. So we're gonna shoot Imagawa in the head. Attack him once, Final Blow, then Heaven and Earth.
Okay, it was one thing that I didn't explain because, you know, I didn't really have to. But, you know, depending on the pattern that Imagawa does, you can get the burst attack earlier or later. If you get it at a certain point where you remove his ki while burst countering his burst attack, you're gonna actually do a grapple immediately, and you'll do it with the yokai form. I didn't have to explain that, but you know, that's actually a really good thing because the yokai form grapple is quite stronger. So you deal a lot of damage. You did like, I don't know, like a third of his HP, something like that. It's really crazy. But yeah, that didn't happen. I had to take it a bit slower, but it depends on RNG.
First counter that, follow him, and continue with the shenanigans. Alright.
It says shenanigans because I didn't remember what I was gonna say.
And I'll do another grapple. One more should do it. There we go.
I could have done a burst attack right there. A brute counter right there.
Alright, so now I'm gonna start updating my stuff a little bit.
I could have equipped the shinobi greeters, but you know,
so
I
we
didn't.
got a bit more.
Or even like
defense.
the pants, the Shrine Maiden
from
pants.
now onwards, we want to get a bit more defense, just for safety, because the amount of RNG in this game it's quite big.
Yeah, actually don't start equipping stuff until the third region. Normally I would equip things now until later on in the next mission a little bit. But yeah, I started doing it a bit later. Yo, Corpi, you missed your AGDQ run. It's okay. It's the bot is on YouTube,
so things can get sketchy.
and I'm analyzing it a little bit as well. So you can check it out there.
So yeah, onwards
hey,
to the second mission of this region. And we're gonna see something quite interesting that was actually we started using in runs very recently, which is key pulse.
When I say recently, I mean let me check one thing actually. Let me check the message that I got. Okay. From like a month ago actually. From a month ago onwards. That's how recent it is.
Animation cancelling.
I got very unlucky on some spots, but you know it went well because I already count on getting unlucky, so you know it's just unfortunate that nothing else.
Of course, get unlucky.
So basically, before I could do the animation cancel or the animation even, I got attacked right there, so I had to bait this Yamamba and then try it again. So yeah, unfortunate.
There we go. Okay, so you saw it right now. I got very unlucky, so the enemy actually got me before I could do it. But yeah, I attacked to make me able to keep pulse, and then I started interacting with the lever. And before the animation plays completely, and I just
For anyone wondering, it wouldn't matter anyways, but yeah, the animation cancel doesn't work on doors where you need to like take out the lock. that blocks the door, because canceling that just puts the lock back on. So yeah, we just do some menuing instead, because we don't really have anything else to do.
Keep pulse to cancel.
And it's important to do, so yeah.
Okay, so I learned more skills right there. Mainly just passives, nothing too super interesting.
Okay, so the ones that I got was well, I explained this, like a more key recovery on Dark Realm and all that stuff. But the other ones on the Samurai skill tree were the high stance attack buff on Keeples. You're probably gonna see it later on the run. The block buff on mid stance and the dodge buff on low stance on Keeples.
But I guess the biggest one would be get more key recovery on the Dark Realm. It's pretty good. I'll do the animation cancel once again. This time I won't get interrupted. This Fleeting Guardian Amulet is really good for boss in the next region. I'm gonna get some more items. As you can see, I canceled that, and the shortcut is enabled. So now if things go south, then I can just go to the boss quickly. Okay, so this is Kamaitachi. I like to call him being Weasel. He's a weasel, goes very fast, so it's fitting. Alright, so Heaven and Earth on that attack. Otherwise, high stance to strong attacks.
First phase was pretty good.
Grapple.
Could have punished a bit more, but I didn't want to
Get
risk.
away, buff, and do another Heaven and Earth. Applying that Purity.
And yeah, now I start getting
Not
unlucky
great
again.
RNG, but it should be no.
I don't get the burst counter, or the burst attack actually. And now I get this meme.
Okay, that's funny. Okay, so one of the things about this game is that at least 99% of the times you cannot hit through walls, and they cannot hit you through walls. And
I specifically say 99% of the time, just, you know, the random percentage, you know, because to throw a percentage. But it can happen that it can actually hit you through a wall. The way that happens is that the attack is not the only thing that goes through the wall. Like part of the character, or like maybe the limb or something goes through the wall as well. So for example, if a cannon guy, a cannon jockey, is shooting you with a cannon through the wall, and the cannon sticks out as well, the cannonball will hit you. If it doesn't stick out, then it won't go through. If a guy with a samurai does like a EI attack, like Sun of the Cross, for example, and the part of the body is also clipping through the wall, it will also hit you, but otherwise it won't. So that's how it works. Okay, so
trees also count as walls, so that's what happened right there. I felt the blood counter, and at the same time the boss felt his grab attack because a tree was in the way.
And in the next mission is when I'm gonna get the most unlucky.
Alright.
I get pretty unlucky later on as well, but yeah. It's more important
in
now
this
to get
next mission,
unlucky.
I'll do some more menuing as well. Okay, we're not gonna do any more dojos. We already are gonna get everything that we're gonna need. But yeah, that was the Adept Dojo getting unlocked. So there's a elevator coming up, and we're gonna use that to set up most of our stuff for the rest of the run. In terms of like items, and also learn some skills and whatnot. And this upcoming boss is actually our evil twin, so to speak. And it's normally not a big issue, but it can easily give you terrible RNG all of a sudden. and you die very, very fast. So
Tell me about
I'll
it.
definitely take the shrine for this.
There are more kill recovery on that ground.
This and that.
Match spinner.
Cool.
And Pure Heaven.
Use 5 of this.
Getting match spinner there is just so I don't have to do as much of a menu later. That's all it is for.
Set the shortcut for that. There we go. There's 3 stones. Chow laminate. And the anima items. There we go. Just checking my arrows. Because sometimes
I'll explain it there, but you know, checking the arrows, it's pretty important for later on. I'll explain it now.
you get an arrow, a regular arrow, before you use the bow for the first time. And because the bow is going to be useful later on some fights. And if you do that, then the first arrow that you're going to shoot is going to be a normal arrow. And those are not the ones that we want right now. Okay, so I'm going to get this safety shrine because of that. This is the slowest safety shrine that I'm going to take.
Yeah, this shrine is probably, like I said, this is probably the slowest, but it's also probably the most important one to take. Because otherwise, well, you'll see.
Probably. But it's very important that I get it because if I die, it's a humongous time loss.
Humongous what?
Alright.
I didn't do it on purpose. It just
more resources.
That's
using that yokai shift.
Like I just said humongous because I couldn't, for whatever reason, I couldn't think of anything else. So instead of saying ginormous or really big or whatever, like I just said humongous. That's it. That's what happened. What popped in my head first.
Often. In the dark realm again.
Now I'll tell you all what went wrong in this fight.
Coming here, there's yokai popping. There we go. If you do it properly, then you can just go through the yokai popping out without getting staggered. So we're gonna buff with purity and see what happens.
Yeah, so
okay,
that right there. Okay, let me explain it for a moment.
Purity.
So this is kind of normal, but this, followed by a dash attack, that's a dick move. That's so bad. But you know, it's not completely awful. Okay, it is a really bad start. That's all.
Okay, yeah, this is one of the memes that this boss can do. Okay.
This is normal.
Yeah.
Now I gotta wait for it because
not very comfy with this RNG.
The boss didn't really do anything to punish.
Okay, there we go. Should be fine.
And now
a pretty good attacks as well. 1, 2, brood counter.
And then right after the brood counter, one of the things that you normally expect Saito to do is a grab attack. So you don't want to continue attacking. So you need to watch out. Like you need to watch what's happening. And here's when things go actually really wrong. Surprise, surprise, Saito doesn't do that, which is the more likely thing. Like the more likely thing is to do the grab attack, but Saito doesn't do that because yes.
1.
And instead does the worst attack that Saito can do, which is the Windstorm. Windstorm is gonna deplete most of my yokai meter. You see, like it's now on 53. I already taking a hit.
2.
And it goes to 12 in like half a second. And now the next shenanigan is gonna happen.
Counter also that was
here. I'll post it again. Okay.
1, 2, brood counter. 1.
As you can see, boom. What was my actual number?
Attacks as well. 1, 2, brood counter. 1.
Yeah, I was on 65.
2.
And it went to 12, okay?
Also.
Now, I do that, and as you can see, you see this red dot, like this red thing right here? That means that I can grapple. So I press triangle. Alright? I press triangle to grapple. And instead of doing that, the game decides, you know what? He doesn't want to grapple, he wants to do a strong attack.
Also, that was...
So that's what happened. You know why? Because for a split second, as you can see right here.
Counter, 1, 2, brute counter, also there.
Right there. Just the moment that I press it, the red dot disappears. And then it appears again. So that's what happened. I wanted to grapple right there, but I didn't get it. I guess I was a bit too anxious, and I went in a hurry for the grapple. I didn't need to do that, but yeah, that's what happened. And you know, everything else is terrible. Because since I got so much damage on the Yokai Shift earlier by that windstorm, I didn't have enough Yokai Shift to deal with that. And I couldn't really capitalize on the grapple. So yeah, now he has like what? Over a third, like a bit less than half HP.
Terrible.
And now he has like what? 25% HP. You think that's not so bad. But here's the thing.
This is actually really bad.
Okay, so far not too terrible. Now it's like a 20% or something. And now she hits me and pops Yokai Shift form in the worst possible form almost. And honestly, it wouldn't make any difference whichever it was at this point, because either Phantom or Feral with my tools at this point are not something that I can actually deal with. I do not have Titanic Strength, which would let me deal with some of the things that Saito can do, especially on Feral. But you know, this wasn't even Feral, so I couldn't even like try to think of like going to learn Titanic Strength or whatever. So basically, I was really screwed right at this point. I could use like 3 shots. I think I have for depleting his HP to more or less this at this point, and then I have to fight the rest. But without good tools, this is a super risky thing to do in a marathon. Because the more likely scenario is that I'm gonna waste my shots. I'll have to go to the blacksmith as well. And not only that, but I'll most likely die because I don't have tools to deal with the rest. So the best scenario is to like back off, heal up just in case, and quit out and try again, because otherwise I'm just gonna waste my time and resources on trying to beat this boss when I have like super low chances of actually doing that. If I had Titanic Strength, my chances wouldn't be that low, but learning it mid-fight with this guy is also very dangerous, so yeah, I prefer to do that.
Yeah, actually I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be better.
And this way I can also show more normal fight.
Things for that. That was very, very unlucky. You know, it's the thing with marathons. You get unlucky.
If this mission...
So yeah, this game saves...
It's funny because if this mission was like... Instead of having this mission here and then the next mission afterwards, if it was like the other way around, this would probably not be that big of an issue, because I would actually have the Titanic Strength. But yeah, that's not the case.
Every time that you rest at a shrine, so that's where I pop right now. You have the correct one, right? Okay.
On hindsight, I guess I could have just leveled up here.
Sketchy at the start, then it looked
like level up on that Peach Shrine, but you know, like that's not what I normally do. That's not what you're supposed to do in a run, so I don't really think about it too much. I just take the safety shrines. I level up in safety shrines if I'm actually behind, as I would do later, but you know, normally I wouldn't. I just want to do the same route, just taking safety shrines, just so you know, I cover myself a little bit.
Good, and then suddenly it went terrible because
oh yeah,
had to do the windstorm, which
I'm gonna guess what happened here was that they thought I had to load a save file or something. I'm not sure. And they probably like went to transition or something like that. They were not aware of that I could do this like this. I'm guessing. I'm not sure what happened exactly internally. But yeah, this is something that can happen in a round. You can do it. It's okay. I'll explain it as well.
Supposed to at that moment
It's just slow to do.
of the fight.
But yeah.
So yeah, not great. Yeah, hopefully you will see a more normal fight.
So yeah, the means continue right here. That EI attack is a one shot. If I don't avoid it, I'm dead. So yeah, I really want to avoid that one.
Okay, that's better. Better. There we go. Jokai shift grapple. 1, 2, red counter. What is going on?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Okay.
The memes still happen, but you know, I managed to do things a bit
Strong
better.
attack. Snake.
There are Kipples and I parry. And I honestly I could have just done like a regular attack instead of trying to parry that, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah, that was a lot of memes. Lots of memes.
So yeah, that's a more normal fight. It's still pretty unlucky, but you know, more normal.
So we have some time for donations.
Absolutely. We have $25 from Moses Unspoken that says, Nioh 2 is easily the best action of our generation. It's amazing to see it being run this fast with
Wait,
this
one
much
moment.
skill.
Who was this one? One moment.
Absolutely. We have $25 from Moses Unspoken that says,
Okay.
Nioh 2 is easily the best action of our generation. It's amazing to see it being run this fast with this much skill. Kudos to Axel. Keep up the great work, dude. We have a $300 donation from Sire Salty that says, AGDQ once again. Way to go and congrats to Axel for starting off the event so well. Good luck to all the runners and thank you. Donation will be doubled by my employer.
I thank you. So yeah, I didn't.
Doubled by the employer.
Sure, go ahead, one more.
All right. We have $15 from Donami that says, so hyped for this week. I'll gladly ruin my sleep schedule for this. Good luck to all the runners, and I'm ready for an exciting GDQ as always.
All right. So I didn't want to rely on quitting out because, you know, it's not the best thing to do. It's completely normal. Like this is still like an actual submittable run, right? But you know, I kind of wanted to avoid that. It's not exactly fast to do, but you know, on PS5 it's faster than on other platforms. And yeah, I'm gonna be updating.
Yeah, this is actually including PC with a faster SSD. I'm pretty sure. And that's the way that I feel like how the game runs on PC and how you reload and all that stuff. Doing it this way, it's probably still faster on a PS5 than a really fast PC. Maybe not, but yeah, I don't know.
In my armor right now, and as you may have noticed, now we have the ability to get 2 guardian spirits, and the second one is going to be the Masaru, which is going to be a feral spirit. It's going to be useful on some fights.
Yeah, I'm like over doubling
with this mission
the duration
that,
of the run.
there's this boss called Tatarimoke, which
With the commentary, I mean,
is kind of
for you analyzing.
hunting you down a little bit or on areas, something like that. That gaze right there, that kind of like light following a certain path, if you step on that light, everything turns into dark realm, and orbs start following you.
Yeah, the game loads fast if you have an SSD.
So yeah, you want to avoid that.
Or you know, like the.
We're gonna get a really important item from Mumio.
Capacity to
that I
actually
just talked to,
run this
which
game
is the
without
cable
stressing too
epiphany.
much in the
We're not gonna be
PC.
using it right now, but later on, especially
I will
close to the end of the game,
eventually
we're gonna be
build
using
my
it
own PC,
on certain spots.
like a
Okay,
new
so we're
PC.
gonna use, we're gonna get a 10 heart,
But yeah.
9 courage,
Not the case right now.
right? And change Guardian Spirit to Masaru.
Honestly, I'm just gonna focus on games on PS5, and the games that I'm gonna play on PC are games that I know do not put too much stress on the PC at all. And yeah, I'll just do that. I still have the PC version and all that stuff. I can play with people every now and then on Discord or whatever. I don't really do that often, but yeah, sometimes. It's just that, you know, for actually running and playing casually and streaming the game, I prefer on PS5 for sure.
Right here, there's. And use as Inspiriting Gem. There we go.
In this boss, I actually make a small mistake.
Alright.
It's not a big deal, but I make a small
So now
mistake.
we're gonna see pretty neat strat, I would say. Right as soon as we see the boss, we use the Guardian Spirit Talisman.
And here I also like cannot keep up the commentary, so I'll do it for myself here. And dash. Then you get with a high stance strong attack, and then I'm supposed to brute counter. I don't do that. I just do snake. Also works, but it's not as optimal. And as you can see, like I have the purity on because of the barrel of purity that I dashed into that also stunned the boss. I'll explain that later as well. Yeah, here instead of blood countering and then Jatsu no Kami, I just went directly with Jatsu no Kami, which also works, but it's, like I said, not as optimal.
To the...
Yeah, heaven and earth. I do two because I know I messed up a little bit. Otherwise, I'll do just one quick attack before the heaven and earth. And now I actually parry a bit too early. It's almost... Yeah, I almost parry too early. I parried very early. You can delay it a bit more.
A lot of things happening.
You can see right here. It was like right at the end of the parry that I actually got it. So yeah, I didn't do it perfectly.
At the same time, I guess. A bit sketchy to talk about everything.
And yeah, like the grab attack was also a meme.
Is,
Normally, you're expecting like a wing attack or a claw attack or whatever. You just parry that or whatever. It didn't happen, so I had to avoid that. You need to really watch out for some bosses because they can mess you up if you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm just gonna parry the next attack, but then they do a grab. So yeah.
It got debuffed with fire. Then I dashed into the. Actually, I don't want that hammer. I want the axe.
Yeah, that's another messed up.
A barrel.
Shouldn't have changed to the hammer.
Also staggered the boss.
It's gonna make the next full boss fight slower.
And then I use that to apply purity to the boss and end up staggering again. And then using the Jatsu no Kami to bring down the boss, so we can do some Heaven and Earth and then grapple with the Jokai Shift. It's a very, very fast fight if everything goes well. Thanks to confusion.
Yeah, one thing that can happen in that fight actually is that you dash into the barrel of purity and the boss doesn't get staggered. Then you run into issues. Because then you don't have the setup and you need to create an opening and the boss doesn't really open too many like it doesn't really give you too many openings for the most part. So you have to take a bit of a risk. So normally you take damage. Hence also the armor as well. It's gonna help you a little bit. That happens. So yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
So right here, we're gonna use a couple of these lantern plant fruits,
There's also scampos that I could have gotten, but I prefer to just do that.
and we're gonna try to avoid getting staggered, just like before. But this one is a bit tougher. There's a bridge where some skeletons are gonna pop.
I'm actually thinking maybe I should actually still get the scampos and take the scampos to use like to learn like a Titanic strength, so I can do the faster version of the skip on the next mission. I guess that's a bit better, but yeah.
And let's see if I do the setup properly. Oh, no. But, you know, at least I saved enough key, so I didn't get full.
So yeah, I'll explain in a moment, actually.
Oh, no. But, and
so right here, you're supposed to get close to this plank. Okay, and right as you're about to hit the plank, you start dashing. So I tried to like set it up with a small dash right before it, but it didn't really work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a bit sketchy. There's ways to do it consistently, but it's a bit odd to get it every time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least I saved enough key, so I didn't get fully staggered.
Big recommendation is try to do the setup, but also save enough key,
Some more items
just in case.
For the resources. And you have already seen it, but in brute form, in the brute yokai shift, you get the ability to parry attacks, and we're gonna be using that a lot in this next fight. So stay tuned for Parry City. Population Nagarama Otaka.
It's not Nagara, it's Magara.
Alright, so
yeah, whatever.
we're gonna shoot this guy.
I'll forgive myself.
It's not super likely that he is gonna interrupt us or anything. It's actually very unlikely. But there is the chance, so knowing my luck, I prefer to just shoot.
Yeah, safety shrine.
Some more items, and we're gonna use another Inspiriting Gem right here to set up our Amrita meter for the yokai shift. We can change to the bow again. And right at the start of the fight, we're gonna buff.
As you can see here, I have the hammer. If I had the axe, I would do more
That's the
damage.
attack that you want to see at the start.
So that was a misplay for me. It's fine.
There we go.
Everything else was good though. Like I didn't make any mistakes in the actual
So,
fight.
shift grapple, root counter, parry. 1, 2, 3. Parry.
I skipped saying kipples, but yeah, you need to kipples right there.
1, 2, 3. Jatsu no Kami. 1, 2, 3. Grapple.
Because remember that kipples in actually cancels the stuff.
Parry. 1, 2, 3. Parry. Jatsu no Kami. And he's done. Boss.
How many parries was that?
Okay, I'm gonna actually change to the axe. Is it that so it deals more damage? That fight it should have been slow. Faster. But yeah.
Actually, I think I should probably have gone with axe with this fight, and then for this upcoming fight with the axe.
That we have a bit of
whatever.
time for a couple of missions.
Sorry, with a hammer.
Alrighty, we have $10 from The Magic Man that says, "Hello everyone, it's great to see this awesome event. Can't wait to see this awesome run of Nioh 2. My donation's going towards the bonus game incentive. We always need more GDQ." We have $50 from Simsy that says, "I worked and studied 70 hours this week. A Nioh 2 run is a great way to call it a day/week. Enjoy the coming week, my friends."
Alright, so I got some sacred arrows right there. They're gonna be useful. some fights later. And next up, I'm gonna get this shrine because this boss is probably I would say it's probably as it is right now, the most difficult boss of the round.
I did misplay a little bit in this boss fight, but you know it's like it's quite up to RNG what I'm supposed to do. Like you need to like really watch the situation and decide what's best for the time. It's not like unless you get to the actual moment of a fight where everything is set up and you can do the certain strat. Everything else is like very circumstantial. So yeah.
Or the one that can be the most difficult. So you know, I'll take it safely for sure. Okay. So I'm gonna do not the fastest version, but I'll do a pretty fast skip right now.
Yeah, the fastest version is to do this and then go back where I came from and go to the boss directly. But I want to do some menuing before. That's why I was talking about this campus earlier. So I think that would be worthwhile in an actual like. I mean, in a marathon run, I would still get this like a shortcut and whatnot, like the door and all that stuff. But in yeah, like you don't get the shrine or the hammer actually with the skip. The hammer is not like unless you are bad with the drops, like you got pretty unlucky and you didn't get any in the last few missions. It's not that bad. Like you can just skip the hammer. It's not a big deal because you know you still want an axe for more damage. But yeah. There was also, by the way, there was also another way of doing that this skip that is obviously way slower to do. Before the Keeple's animation canceling was found, or it was started being used because we didn't know about it before. And that was like summoning an enemy revenant that is like I don't know, more or less where I am, a bit more to the left. And then letting it hit you while you were opening or activating the lever, and then you just go through. But we don't need to do that anymore, and you can do that like the cancel and then entering immediately the bridge to get to the boss immediately, or you can just do this and do some menuing while you're opening this and enter the other do the other skip, or do the other animation cancel to get on the bridge and go to the boss. I'll probably in runs I'll probably start doing start getting this campus instead of using two lantern plant fruits on the previous mission, and then I'll just do the fast version. But the thing is that the fast version is also kind of sketchy because there's an is it Namahage? I think it's called Namahage, and a Yoki, and maybe something else depending on your bad luck, that can actually enter and attack you in the bridge. So it's a bit sketchy, honestly. But yeah. This is another reason why take this. This menu was very slow, but it's fine.
Slow menu, it's okay. There we go. So we'll use that to skip that part of the level. I got some more skills. I got Titanic Strength. Really useful. Skip the cutscene and buff right at the start. Block. Avoid the first attack. Alright. Let's set up.
I actually almost got hit right there.
Right here. As you can see, I'm also doing some...
Remove his key just in time.
Cover an earth.
And yeah, right here I was not expecting him to drop immediately.
Normally I would buff with...
So that's why I... Like, normally what would happen is that I do that, and Jatsu no Kami, and then I do Heaven and Earth, and then he starts falling. And then before I grapple, I change to Lightning, grapple, and then I proc Confusion, and the fight is almost over. Stagafula Izaha? I don't know what language is that, but yeah. Thanks for the redemption. Yeah, that doesn't happen, and I have to do this.
Lightning, but that was not a good setup for it. That's fine.
Thank you, Corpi. What language is it?
Oh, okay.
Swahili. Oh. Stagafula Izaha. Maybe that's a bit more accurate.
More Heaven Earth. Okay, sadly you were not able to see the full strat, but it's fine.
I try to visualize in my head like how
You can do some confusion.
probably
strats,
people pronounce that.
You have to, if you are a bit luckier than I am, I guess.
Yo, the Red Reaper. Welcome.
Okay, that
One major
the
choke
third
point.
Region, and we'll move to the fourth region.
You mean like the
first
Saito
mission of that region, we're gonna
Yoshitatsu fight? Because that wasn't really a major choke point. I got pretty unlucky. I did make a mistake, but honestly, it is a mistake that it's normally not a mistake. So I just got really unlucky on that fight. Besides that, I mean, I did make another mistake later on before Shuten Doji with I just, for whatever reason, I thought too much about like what was my actual route, what happens if I go this way or whatever, and without knowing, I was just walking instead of dashing at one point where I should really be dashing. So I got, you know, I'll explain that later. But yeah,
first double boss mission. Not at the same time.
and thank you for the GGs.
But yeah, one after the other. So one of the best properties of Titanic Strength, which is the skill that I was using every now and then on that fight, is that
Yeah, I'm glad
besides on
people
Asana
enjoyed
Masa,
it.
because it has its own gimmick. It's an unparable skill, and it also...
Okay, for the record, most skills are quote-unquote unparable, but Titanic Strength is truly unparable. What I mean by that is that some bosses can parry some skills that are normally unparable. Alright? With the exception of Azai Nagamasa, Titanic Strength cannot be parried at all.
it's effective on every stance, and it's very quick to use. So it's gonna be very useful on some boss fights. Especially the human boss fights. Okay, so in this mission, everyone likes to shoot. So we're gonna try to not
Kira got pretty unlucky as well in this mission.
get shot down. Okay, so this enemy right here is gonna be RNG heavy. Okay, of course. Okay, I got pretty bad RNG, but I managed to survive. I don't know if it's the worst RNG or the second worst RNG.
No, that's a different thing. When you're talking about the red flash, that's a burst attack. Burst attacks are supposed to be countered with a burst counter. I'm not talking about that kind of mechanic. I'm not talking about the burst counter mechanic. I'm talking about actual parries. It's kind of different. I know it can be confusing. Like many people talk about parries when they mean counters, but I like to separate the two because of this. Because there's two different things. One is like a burst counter, and the other one are parries. Parries were already in Nioh 1. Counters are Nioh in or burst counters in this case are Nioh 2. And yeah, black is unblockable because it's a grab. You know, all the grabs are like that. But grabs can also be burst counters or burst attacks. so you can counter them. Like, for example, the Kamaitachi. The Kamaitachi grab attack in Dream of the Samurai, which is NG, is actually a burst counter, or a burst attack, so you can counter it. And yeah, as you can see, both it's either evade or parry. Yes, that is correct. Evade or counter. What I'm talking about parries is like Tokichiro or Mataza, Mayada Toshie. Those can parry your attacks. So I spam the Titanic Strength back and forth from different stances to recover my ki as well, so I can keep attacking. So they cannot parry that. They just keep trying to parry and they get that ki damage. So it's pretty good.
That you can get there. But the one that you want is the one where she pops the cannon, because then you get close to her and she takes it away and she takes longer to shoot. So yeah, that didn't happen. I'm gonna get another item right here.
For the record, I think like burst counters are
also known as the
an awesome mechanic in this game. They make the game, I think, much better than people think.
Alright. So all of these enemies, except for the yokai enemies, of course, are from the Saika clan, and we're gonna fight their boss in a moment.
Especially when they're well applied. Like, I think in the demos, some bosses like Ryumen Sukuna in the last demo was too counterable.
So we're gonna level up to 12.
You're a reform pervert. Welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you.
And rest on stamina. There we go.
Okay, so here I'm actually below my usual level, mainly because I didn't get a Lumisa Crystal. I explained that way later because I wasn't thinking about it later, or at that point. But yeah, I'm actually below the usual level here, so I'm not gonna be able to get all the skills that I would normally get later. So that's another thing to think about, because I should probably prioritize some skills before the ones that I got early. But yeah, it's fine.
12th skill is going to be useful for the set of armor that we're going to stick with for the rest of the run, starting from the next mission. It's going to allow us to get 5% extra damage.
Just to the invisible wall right there, like the right next to the wall. There's an actual invisible wall, so you need to go around it a little bit. I got a bit stuck there.
Pretty neat. Yeah, next up is Saika Magoichi. And we're going to be using water against him. Let's see.
Here I got pretty unlucky. You'll see. I'll explain in a moment.
Not a good start, but it's fine.
Like, the start was already pretty bad, but it's nothing like too terrible. The strat is not over.
Saika being playful, that's all. Okay, there we go. Yokai shift grapple.
Now.
1, 2.
Avoids, and what does he do? He whistles. Seeing a whistle right there, specifically this one, is super bad, because this is what happens next.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah. I could parry all of that, but I would still that would still destroy my yokai shift meter. So it's better to just run away from your problems. And then I did misplay a little bit because I could have parried the second shot, for example. But whatever. It was very, very unlucky to get the whistle right after the grapple.
No, I can only laugh at my bad luck, honestly.
Right there. Instead of doing another roll, I could have just done a parry, because that's always a three shots, but I was thinking too much about avoiding all the fire, so it didn't really come out to me.
Wow.
And yeah, that's the end of the yokai shift. And now I have to rely on
It's so fun.
basic, well, on the skills that I have with the axe right now.
Alright.
And some brute counters. Teleport is pretty annoying.
So Titanic Strength is the main reason why I can continue this fight quite relatively easy. It's just slow, but you know, this was not the way the run, or not the run, the fight was supposed to go.
So yeah, the reason why I say that is because Titanic Strength, Brute Parry, the Brute Counter, apart from countering, it can stain your combos. Like for example, I was using it there to, for example, I know that he's gonna block next time, or it's a high chance that he's gonna block, so I'm just gonna counter, and that's gonna damage his key because he's blocking that, right? That's one thing that can happen. Another thing is that he rolls. So instead of like just trying to do another combo or whatever, like it's faster for me to do a brute counter because it's also an attack, and interrupt that roll at the end so he doesn't do like a follow-up attack or anything like that. So I use it in this fight to extend my combos and keep the pressure on, and punish him more.
That's for sure. All right.
That is one of the reasons
So next
why
up we have,
human bosses are normally better with a brute on than feral or phantom. There are other reasons, but yeah, that's one of the main reasons.
one of my least favorite bosses in the whole game.
Oh, okay. Fang break. Okay, you mean the actual brute parry? Okay. The thing is, I tried to parry the third shot and I missed it. Also, hi Kichu, welcome. That's what I should have done on the second one. But yeah, I missed the parry, so I just I used the meter. That's all. But yeah, ideally, what I want to do is like just parry an attack so I can get back on track a little bit more, punish it more. But yeah, parry is really good if you can actually nail it. If you fail it, it's pretty bad. But yeah.
It's called Gyuki, but I like to call him.
I thought you meant the brute counter because of the previous conversation.
Spent
But yeah,
a
sorry.
long time in the mountains perfecting his swiping technique. Okay. Okay, start I guess. Okay.
So
Not
I'm actually a bit
Just
slightly mad. Like it's a bit sad that I wasn't able to complete the joke, because I did the joke with the mountains, training in the mountains and Tinder and the swipes, but the boss didn't do any swipes. But yeah, it's normally a pretty funny thing to say.
Alright, that's good. Gonna grapple.
It was a bit awkward this moment, but it's fine.
More heaven and earth. There we go. That's it.
Swipe or no swiping,
Now
yeah.
we change to lightning so we can confuse Yuki.
I did a miss. Yeah, that right there. I tried to do
And that's
the grapple rider
Bit
just
sketchy.
in case I was in time, but
Alright.
didn't
I
happen.
get match spinner too.
But it's fine.
I don't need that.
Yeah, that's for the DLC.
Um,
And here, this is what I one misplay technically, but it's normally not something that is an issue. My misplay was to do first Fortitude 1. I should do that last. But yeah, here my main things to get are this skill right here, and then Masterful Slice over here, and damage boost stamina here. Those are the main ones that I need to get, and this is the extra one. I get the extra first because normally I can get all of them, but yeah, it was a bit of a misplay.
Life. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get damage boost to stamina.
Yeah.
And to not masterful slice apparently. I'll fix that later.
Honestly, I could have actually done it later than before, even. But I kind of wanted, I was on my mind, like, get back on track, get back with where you're supposed to have.
Okay, we got a helm
just in
axe,
case.
that's pretty good.
So I obviously
And
not,
this next mission is
not on the next mission because of what I'm gonna say right here, but on the one after that I do that. I could have just delayed it a bit more for the next one, but you know, it's whatever.
has one of my favorite bosses for several reasons. And it's the mission that I'm not gonna get any safety shrines on because honestly, it kind of messes up the setup. It's not a hard fight.
By that, what I mean exactly is I'm gonna get a Scampus pretty early on, and if I get the shrine, it is very likely that by the time I get to the blue fire right before the boss, the Scampus runs out, and I'm in big trouble because I'm gonna take damage from the blue fire. So that's why it's better to not take the shrine. You don't want that to happen. If you're really fast, it's not gonna happen, but still, yeah.
Except the very start of it. You'll see. It's pretty fun. It's pretty funny. Gonna get the new axe. I haven't done that. Right, so everything is on fire. This is a Honnoji temple. I didn't explain anything of the lore, but honestly, there's so much to talk about the game that
Yeah.
lore is.
I talk about the lore because the Honnoji Temple is the place where Nobunaga dies, or stops being appearing in the storybooks. And also, like in Nioh 1, you're on this stage, but everything is on ice, and you fight Yuki Onna, which is the yokai version of the wife of Nobunaga. But I didn't get into lore at all.
A bit too much to add on top of that.
Hachonembutsu is part of the set of Yatagarasu, which I'm gonna start getting right now.
So I'm going through the blue fire without taking any damage. Can you guess why? Because I have a Scampus.
Yeah,
I know. It
yeah,
doesn't make
Corpi.
sense. But it's great.
Yeah, like Scampus does makes you immune to blue fire for whatever reason. Water does not make you immune to blue fire. Only red fire. Scampus makes you immune to blue fire.
That's how it works.
And not red fire.
Scampus, like cats are really strong. They are overpowered, I would say.
And here I
Okay,
notice that
actually
I'm
very low on
yeah
Umbrid items.
that I'm low on Emerald items.
Should be okay. I mean, it's okay, but it's not ideal.
Like, considering how unlucky I got in this run, I actually did really
I'm
well,
updating my armor
I
as
think.
quickly as I can.
So Raving Wing Rifle is also part of the Yatagarasu set. Gonna have like the Hachonembutsu, Raving Wing Rifle, and then the headgear. And then I'm gonna get also the chest piece and the pant piece, like the leg piece, whatever. With 4 pieces, which is enough, you get 5% damage bonus. So that's why I use it on the run. There's no better set, honestly, in the run in terms of like speedrun stuff. Like I looked around quite a bit and nothing really seemed to be better than that. So yeah, it's also like the only one that is actually consistent with like you always have at least 4 pieces. So yeah.
parts. Okay. We counter that.
As you can see, the meter for the Scampus is pretty low at this point. So if you take this run on top of that, then it gets quite close to running out. So
this
a bit sketchy to go for.
Shirohami. I didn't explain it, but Shirohami gives the Yatsu no Kami spirit, not spirit, yokai ability, poison property. And when you have Yatsu no Kami, every time that you hit an enemy that's poisoned, you deal more damage. Now we're gonna grapple, and we're gonna slap. 1, 2, 3, kipples, grapple. Now we're
Kipples is to cancel, reset the
fight.
the combo.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you do 1, 2, 3, and then immediately just do like what is it called? Strong attack to grapple, or 1, 2 burst counter, and then the strong attack. It's gonna continue the combo. It's gonna do a strong attack instead of actually doing a grapple. Kasha, the way it works is for whatever reason, if you right after, I'll explain it here, but I'll explain it a bit more detailed. If you right after doing the grapple with the yokai shift, or in this case like the brute yokai shift, you slap or use a certain yokai ability like Yatsu no Kami, she will fall again, meaning that as long as you have meter to do that, it's a true loop. So you can just keep going. You can just destroy Kasha like this, even when you're severely like under equipped or whatever, as long as the yokai shift doesn't run out. So yeah.
For some reason, when you use certain yokai abilities, or you do the brute counter after doing the brute grapple, you're able to just reset the stagger status, or the downed status actually, from the boss. In this case, Kasha is the only one where that always happens every time that you do that. And yeah, you just keep grappling. It's pretty cool.
That loop only works on Kasha.
Okay, we can rip some stuff.
On other bosses, you can do something similar, but it's not a true loop.
Absolutely. We have $25 from Angry Tater that says, so excited to start 2022.
Wait. Did they actually?
Have $25.
They actually knocked on my door.
From Angry Tater that says, so excited to start 2022.
I'm glad I didn't notice, because that would actually make me nervous.
Hope everyone watching at home is ready to speedrun some donation records. We also have... Oh, are you ready to
Yeah, just go ahead.
All right, we have $50 from King of Mischief that says...
They knocked on my door. I hate when I'm doing a run, especially a marathon run, and they knock on my door. Especially when I've already said that the run is going to start at, at the time that it started. In this case here, it was like a 6 p.m. Yeah, I have no idea. I'll ask tomorrow what, if I remember, what they wanted. But man, that's not what I want to hear ever in a marathon run, because it just makes me very nervous, because it's like, why are they knocking? They know I'm busy, they know I'm doing a marathon run. But yeah.
My favorite time of the year. Thank you to all the runners who make this such a great event.
All right, so next up I'm gonna be using Kasha, meaning the Kasha Soul Core for the first time in the run.
Yeah, here I'm equipping more stuff on the
Crystal.
Another misplay
Kasha
here.
Soul Core is
I guess I was thinking too much about the commentary at this point, and I didn't actually approach this crystal properly. I'm supposed to be here, not here. Because right here I'm just pushing a Skelly and trying to attack. Thankfully, Kasha, I know that Kasha still does the job by herself. It's just that if you attack it first, it just breaks a bit earlier. But yeah, if that didn't happen, then I would just died.
It's actually really good.
As you can see right here.
Because it's not
That would have been
only
pretty bad.
able to give us you know, a really good yokai ability, but it also buffs our movement when absorbing Amrita, and also
Yeah, I got
also,
6
like,
pieces
heals
then.
us when we hit enemies.
I think I almost got the full set of Yatagarasu. That's funny.
With,
Doesn't make any difference, but yeah.
with a soul core. All right, so we're gonna get some more items, and we're gonna see the first instance of using the bow at the start of the fight. You'll see why in a moment. And yeah, I did a small level up there, which is not a planned one, but it's for some reason the levels are not really matching what they should.
It's because of what I said earlier. Like I didn't get the Lumisa crystal, so my levels are actually not matching. I was probably like a couple or more levels below what it should be, but you know, it's fine. That would not bother me again if I remember what to do. Like even if I get unlucky with the Lumisa crystals or whatnot.
So yeah, 1, 2. He has Spiritio. I'm gonna dodge that.
Yeah, sorry about the cost. It's like when I'm talking so often, especially when I'm in the middle of a run, like I'm trying to talk clearly and whatnot, I start getting like itchy with the throat, so I need to cough. I guess that's probably another reason why they accepted the any percent and not the any percent with DLCs. I don't know. I don't know exactly why, but yeah. For my throat, it's better to just do any percent on a marathon.
Switch to Shirohami and start doing some more Cover on Earth and Grapple. Now we're gonna parry this. Bird counter.
Okay, so
I didn't
one
explain
moment.
them.
So over here, after that parry, I immediately go brute counter. Why? Like the red attack didn't happen yet, so why do I brute counter already? Because the way some bosses work is that they are actually kind of like forced on a timer, so to speak, to do a brute, not a brute, a burst attack. And I knew that Ruben Sukuna didn't do a burst attack yet. So after the parry, he was going to do a burst attack because it's on a timer. So I just already was going for the brute counter to counter that. And since you counter that on the Dark Realm, you get Anima, which I didn't explain. Sure have, maybe. But, you know, lots of things to explain, lots of details in this run, so cannot explain everything, honestly. So yeah, and because of that, I also get the benefits of getting all that anima, and I can use the snake.
Bird counter. I didn't explain them, but the red attacks are the burst attacks, which are the attacks that you can counter with a bird counter or burst counter, technically. Alright, and we got a Raven Sukuna axe. That's gonna be pretty nice because normally when I get an axe here, it's stronger than the one that I get by default. Because they always give you an axe.
This is true.
For completing this mission.
The reward Ryumen Sukuna axe is usually weaker than the one that you get
Okay,
when
so that concludes the 4th region.
From a drop.
We're moving onwards to the 5th region.
Especially if it's purple.
More, slots for the yokai abilities. So now we can have two big soul cores, like for example Yatsu no Kami and Kasha, or Yatsu no Kami and Ryomen Sukuna in this case of the Shirohami. This is another. This is gonna be another main mission where we're gonna fight two bosses in the same mission. And I also didn't explain it, but the sword on low stance for some reason is faster than all the other weapons when you start low stance dashing.
Okay, here I make another misplay. I'll explain that as well. But yeah, basically I get too close to the jockey, then I try going for the ladder. Honestly, what I should have done is just, even if I alerted the jockey, I should just try to open the door. It would have been faster. But you know, I just didn't think about it and just. No, I don't use evade cancel because honestly, it is very rough for me to do. Like I cannot do that so fast, and also just dashing around normally, just mashing X, already strains my my thumb often. Like if I get like a pretty long session in one day or maybe 2 days consecutive, then I notice it and it's straining my my finger. So I prefer to just not evade cancel because of that, because it's like a very straining thing to do, and honestly, we have I have way other things to think about in the run, and yeah, like it's not even that big of a difference because we're using key anyways, so you're gonna have to wait. Exactly, it's a bit faster. It's a bit faster. It's not a lot faster, but it's a bit faster. Um, the thing is, if key wasn't a thing, if the key usage wasn't a thing or when dashing around the place, then it would make a huge difference. But yeah, because of the key, is not that big of a difference. And what I would notice the most is a bigger strain on my fingers. At least the way that I do things. So yeah, I try to go for it. I managed to get it slightly, but never consistently. But eventually, you see the difference. Like there's videos about it. There's one from Fast to Load, which is no Last to Load. Sorry, which compares the differences in the interim, and when you see the difference between evasion canceling and not evasion canceling with the sword, you see that it is not super big. So it's just, for me, it's better to not do it because it's something that I think it's just gonna mess up myself more than give me an advantage. Yeah. Mess me up.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I could have just gone, honestly. I had enough HP, I had armor. I could have actually survived that, but I didn't think about it, so I just, did all of this. It's okay.
I'm just gonna take this run. I messed up a little bit there. It's okay. I'm gonna take this run. I got too close to the jockey. We'll do it again.
But this way,
that enemy.
this way I can show like a better approach. But yeah, my approach wasn't great either. Because
Alright.
But yeah.
So this is the fastest path than the one that I was gonna take before getting hit. And yeah, everything is on fire here as well. Right, so the first boss that we're gonna fight in this mission is gonna be Mataza, or Maeda Toshiya. Maeda Toshiya. We're gonna start the fight by buffing with water. And
by the way, like just a disclaimer. When that happens, like the throat thing is not because I'm nervous. It's because of dry throat and like drinking all that stuff. So I get like some movement of gases and whatnot. So yeah. Yo, Snipe Hoff, welcome. It's Axel, not Alex. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Welcome.
You're gonna see peculiar thing that you can do with this. In this case with Ryumen axe, but particularly with all the corruption-based weapons. Let's see. So you have applied water already. Let's see if I can apply something else. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna switch to the sword and back to the axe.
So yeah, what I did right there was just when you switch weapons, you obviously get rid of the debuff, of the buff of the weapon that you were using. So I switched back and forth, like to the sword and then to the axe. So now, since it's a corruption-based axe, as you can see from the sentience bar here, then I just apply corruption, and he gets confused.
And that lets us apply confusion to the boss. And yeah, basically that destroys the boss faster.
You spelled it wrong again,
refreshed
Snap Hop.
my what is it called? Sentience bar meter on the axe for this next fight. The way that works is that the sentience bar meter fills up when you do when you attack enemies and whatnot. It fills up, and when it gets to the very top of the meter, when the meter gets filled, then the corruption-based buff is applied, and it will override everything. So I wanted to avoid that happening too early. Okay, so yeah, this is Shibata Katsuya. We're gonna do Heaven and Earth and some Yatsu no Kami. There we go, that should be a good setup. Heaven and Earth.
So here, because I did the grapple, he had more key. Right. So I already had that in mind.
That was a bit sketchy, but it's fine. We're gonna grapple, and now we're gonna switch to the water, and we're gonna proc Confusion.
He has the corruption on the sentience bar, getting filled up.
Snake, and the fight is over. GG's.
So yeah, the thing is, the way I set up the corruption or the sentience bar is that by the time I do the second grapple, or by the time I down him again the second time, basically outside of the diagram, and I grapple, I have the sentience bar filled up. And that way I can just buff with water so I can get rid of it and proc Confusion. Because otherwise the sentience meter kind of messes it up. So it's like just barely before, then you just buff with water and then you attack, and then suddenly it gets rid of the water because the sentience meter is filled up. So yeah.
That concludes this mission. And next up, we're gonna fight our good friend Tokichiro in the next mission. Yes, go ahead.
Alrighty, we have $10 from Ariel that says, Axel, you're doing amazing. The fact that you are calmly explaining the run while doing it and making it look effortless is incredible. You are a natural. Go, 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 go.
Thank you, Oreo. Shout out to Oreo. Very nice.
We also have $250 from Salamar that says, go, go, go.
Let me do some math.
Yeah, okay. So here, let me explain a little bit the math here.
Let me do some math.
So this is each spirit stone or each different Amrita item gives you a different value. Large spirit stones give you 50, spirit stones give you 25, small spirit stones give you 10, and Lumisac short gives you 25 as well. So basically what I was checking is like, do I have 100 here besides these two and these ones? Because this one and these two are going to be used later in a mission, so I don't want to touch those. So I was thinking like 50, 25, and then I saw this one, so that's another 25, so I'm good. So that's the math that I was going for. Because normally I have more items.
But yeah, this I'm very low on.
Like for example, a couple of large spirit stones. Usually that's what I use. And then I go through this place with a Amrita buff from Kasha that I have equipped here, so I go faster. But you know, I didn't have that, so I kind of struggled a bit more. But you know, it was okay.
It's not what I'm used to. Well, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna dash past this guy. Hopefully,
Right there.
Normally I would be buff with Amrita items. You know, from the speed buff from absorbing Amrita, but I had to calculate how much Amrita I'm actually gonna have because I'm so low. Like this is, I'm getting unlucky on so many fronts. It's kind of unbelievable. So I get 50, then 25, and I think 25 from this as well. Yeah, there we go. So I barely have enough. Guess that's the lower limit. Okay, we're gonna buff with water, and we're gonna.
I am the world record holder, yes, but it doesn't really matter that much. Thinking like this game doesn't have that many runners, and I'm the almost only runner of PS5, or the only runner of PS5 in this category. But you know, I don't really care too much about world records, honestly. I just care about showing a good run, which is why I submit runs to marathons. And yeah, I got the first sub 120 as well on Featherless. But yeah.
We're gonna start the fight with the same strat as Imagawa from the second region. We're gonna shoot Kokachiro in the head. There we go.
Nice.
One quick attack, Prana Blow, 5 times a strong attack. There we go. So that was not great because he started doing some parry spam, and when he does that, he's, for whatever reason, not able to be guard broken. But you know, it's fine. That finishes the fight. Got a holy axe. Interesting.
Yeah, so over here my thought is like, I have a holy axe, so should I change to that? But then I thought, I'm getting a damage buff from getting the sentience bar filled up. Yeah, it's kind of rough, and also not super popular, but you know, it's underrated. Hopefully people will hop on the speedrun more after this, but yeah.
I'm not gonna switch to that axe actually because I'm gonna benefit. There's one particular thing about.
Okay, I'll do this. I'll say this very quickly, just so I because I want to get it off the thing. I'm doing a recording right now, by the way. I'm just gonna upload it later for YouTube. Djokovic being held hostage in Australia. He should have gotten the vaccine. The vaccine was mandatory for the tournament, and he decided not to do it. So if he decides to not do something that is mandatory, then he cannot expect to be going to the tournament or whatever. So in my opinion, that's you know, he should have like just gotten the vaccine if he really wanted to play. Otherwise, just don't go there expecting to play. That's all. He made it in? What do you mean? I don't know if it was like the tournament or the country or wherever, but it was mandatory. The thing is, like, not vaccinating is. I'll close this right now, okay? Because I want to talk about this. But not vaccinating is honestly terrible decision at this point, especially if you are someone who travels a lot, who like has so much contact with other people, like, yeah. Anyways, let's move on with the run.
Weapons is that when they get the corruption buff, you don't really do like a corruption damage. You do a corruption build-up, but it just buffs your actual physical damage. So it's kind of interesting. Oh, okay. It's okay. You don't need that.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't press R1 fast enough.
I pressed R1 down to change the item, but it kind of ignored my R1. Maybe I did it a bit too late. I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. I just don't want to like talk about it right now. It's not a good moment.
So for the record, we are fine with.
I don't think it's a difficult subject. It's just a bit
more leeway.
Polemic. That's all.
That's what I was.
But it's not difficult at all.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do this actually. Buff. So that crystal was preventing us from entering this boss fight, and we're gonna start this boss fight by shooting him and hopefully not get bad RNG.
Surprise, surprise! I got bad RNG because instead of doing the usual thing where he dashes me, then he just went to the side and avoided that. So I didn't get, actually, I was supposed to get some extra purity arrows, but I didn't get them. So yeah, when I saw that I wasn't gonna get the debuff before getting less than 2 arrows, I decided to just cut it short because I have to save 2 arrows for the final fight, the round. So yeah. Do you like Rolos? I don't know what that is.
Of course.
Yeah, right there I have 2 already. I noticed that, so I stopped.
To invest on this boss, but that's fine.
Yeah, I always mess up the timing on that counter. It feels awkward.
I call him the Kappa Man. I'm sure you cannot guess why.
Kasha does big damage to him. He's very weak to fire. And yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's one of the most hated bosses in this run because he doesn't like being consistent. But it's fine. He is done for. Okay, I got okay, let's just talk about that, I guess.
Here I go the wrong way. I already noticed here.
This is not the door. I went the other way. I got a hidden skill called Second Water or something. I actually forgot the name. Bosses have a
yeah,
chance
he's very
of,
inconsistent.
Some bosses have a chance of dropping some hidden skills. So yeah, I got quote unquote lucky enough to
Here I get distracted again. I'll explain it in a moment.
get one. Actually unlucky because
Myself, not past me.
waste.
So right here, I was not supposed to go to the right. I was supposed to go here to get the boss to break this faster. But I was busy explaining and I didn't really focus on this, so I got a bit distracted, so that didn't happen. It's okay, I didn't die or anything, so it was not a big deal. But you know, I didn't go as fast as I should have gone.
My time a little bit.
That
So we're gonna
attack right there would have hit this if I had gone to this place instead. But yeah, that didn't happen.
trigger the boss. We're gonna fight later by breaking this, trigger his attacks and force him to break that barrier so we can progress through. We're gonna get another Scampus right here. and we're gonna get the Masterful Slice actually.
Here, normally, instead of getting Masterful Slice, what I get is Rumbling Earth and an extra key, which actually I never get the extra key. Now I think about it, it's not like super necessary, but it helps a little bit. Yeah. So that messes up later on a bit of a menu, so it take longer. So yeah, some stuff that just kind of keep piling up. You know, like you change one thing here, so you have to do something a bit later, and then you have to do something else where you're supposed to do another thing, and then you eventually have to like kind of stop because you get to right before the point where you actually need all of that, and yeah, and just keep things back on track. So that's what happened later.
Gonna be very interesting and important to use later. Alright, so we use the feral counter to iframe through the boulders over here, so we don't have to wait. I'm gonna get this shrine just in case. Alright. So this next up is a Gimmick Boss. It's a Magoichi. We need to break his knuckles in order to bring him down.
This fight went pretty well, actually.
So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna use Kasha and Mat Spinner too, mainly.
Yes, it is intended, but yeah. I didn't talk about it, but yeah, I guess I could have actually talked about that. But it's like
and maybe we can get a 2-cycle. That would be ideal.
Not the normal path, but it's still intended.
So yeah, like using yokai skills in this fight makes it so things break more easily. By things I mean the fingers. So I think that's actually a 2-phase or a 2-cycle. I think should be.
Flash attack right there.
Yes, it is. Good.
Could have gotten
able to finish the fight.
Here. I could have.
We're gonna get.
Instead of going Shifling, which was another option, of course, I could have gone to the Axe 3. But the thing is, normally I don't go for the Axe 3 because I learned those skills on this campus. So I didn't think about it because I got the Masterful Slice instead of that. So yeah, I should have gone for that first.
Get some more passives and more movement for the sword. Okay.
You know, like please. I didn't get the Soul Core for whatever reason, so I had to go again.
Okay, good. We got a Kintaro axe. That's actually really good. That's one of the better axes that you can get at this point of the game. And now we're back to the interim because we are actually dead. But you know, don't worry, we can use the Dragon Balls and resurrect, no problem. What do you mean there's no Dragon Balls in this game? Have you
Yeah,
seen the
one more.
legends?
Let me check one thing. When did I say the thing? When did I say the thing about the knock? I think I know where. Yes they are. Yes they are. They will always drop the soul cores. One moment.
Absolutely. We have $25 from
Okay, it
AGDQ.
wasn't okay, it was me just like getting confused when analyzing this. It was not them knocking, it was actually doing this. That's what it was. Okay, get back to this.
Really good. That's one of the better axes that you can get at this point of the game.
I was like, this
is
what made me realize
because
that
we are actually dead.
it was not them knocking.
We
It
can
was
use the
me.
Dragon Balls and resurrect, no problem. What do you mean there's no Dragon Balls in this game? Have you seen the next mission? Okay, so we're gonna head to Byodo Inn, which is my favorite location in the game, actually. It's really, really cool, really mystical. That finishes the 5th region, and we're moving on to the 6th region, which is probably the longest one, I think. And probably also the hardest one. And yeah, we're gonna do an actual interesting skip at the start of this mission.
We're gonna reunite the Dragon Balls to summon the...
And it is not 100% necessary, but for what we have, we kind of
big
have
spirits.
but we're gonna pop a yokai ship for this in order to do the skip. Gonna use a Speeding Gem right there. Just to set up our
I think
it goes up to 80 gradually.
in this mission,
Speeding Gem.
yeah, the Drunken Fool. In this mission is where I do my last
We're gonna actually use
mistake, I think.
in this mission for the boss of this mission. Just to speed up the fight and make it a bit more consistent, because he has quite a bit of HP. And yeah, we're gonna do some more counselings just because we can. We use 2 of this. Now we have 100, and we're gonna do another council right here. So you don't see it, but those Dragon God Jewel, those are the Dragon Balls. Oh, okay.
So right here.
Those are the Dragon Balls.
The main thing is, like, for whatever reason, I was worried about going this way, so I kind of redirected myself. I don't know. It's some things that your mind betrays you. You start thinking about certain stuff. So I was supposed to go this way and dash, and instead I went this way and I didn't dash.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
It's fine. It is fine. I kind of stopped in a bad time.
My mind playing tricks on me.
I'm actually gonna use this just in case. I'm gonna use the Summoner's Candle. Here, right there. You see the Dragon Ball on the dragon's mouth? That's the one. All right, let's go ahead. I'm gonna pop Yokai Shift and just skip this part. There we go. That saves like about 20 plus seconds. And yeah, we're gonna use Kasha to end that.
I actually got pretty unlucky right there, because she was using the paralysis, but I actually didn't get enough for the Kasha straight away, so I just had to get away and do another attack. So that kind of saved me. I should do that more often, honestly.
More level up. Yeah, some more leveling up, yes. I'm gonna level up to 39 stamina. Oh, I know why I was lower on. Yeah, it's because I have less anima, not anima, Amrita items. Normally I would have like a Lumisite crystal to use earlier, but I didn't get any. But yeah, we have another Dragon Ball to use right here. In this world we only have 3 instead of 7. And yet we're just gonna match spinner while avoiding the Cyclops. And over here we're gonna use this time to do a bit of menuing, change.
So here I realized that I haven't learned the skills.
Stamina, then Masterful Slice, and I didn't do this. That's very slow, but it's okay. I'm just gonna take my time.
I should have used gone to the other one, so I got the extra key, but you know, it's whatever. Small optimization.
Oh, I know what happened. Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, here I realize what I did.
That makes sense. Alright, so we're gonna use 2 large Spirit Stones. And we're gonna prepare to fight Shuten Doji by using a Clay Bell of Beckoning. Entering the fight.
I did a small mistake in this fight, but you know, it's fine.
This is very, very helpful. Okay, we're gonna do some Heaven and Earth right here. We're gonna do some Rumbling Earth to do some key damage. Some more Heaven and Earth. And we're gonna do some Ryumin Sukuna.
I think I could have done like done the 2 attacks. And right there, I could have just finished
And another one.
that phase earlier, but that's fine. Yeah, that was a small mistake right there. That setup was a bit sketchy. I didn't really set it up
Yokai shift
properly.
to grapple.
But the rest of the fight went really well.
Do some more Ryumin Sukuna. First counter that. Another one. More Ryumin Sukuna is pretty nice. And we finish the fight. GG. Alright. So this boss always drops a shoot and dodge clap right here, as you can see. That's very useful.
I think I didn't explain it, but the shoot and dodge clap is always a drop, but it can be anywhere from yellow, which is just uncommon, to purple rarity, which is exotic or something like that. It's like the biggest rarity before the green items, and you know, before the green items you have the, well, on top of the green items you have the orange ones, but yeah.
And we're onwards to the probably the longest mission in the game, which is the Golden Castle. We're gonna fight 3 bosses that we have fought before. Yes.
English.
And then a final boss. So we're gonna fight Enenra, Jetsunokami, and Kasha. So you're gonna see the Kasha loop again. Feels good, man.
Not much. Higher rarity normally means that there's a higher chance of getting a better effect, and also that the weapon itself or equipment itself, while being in the same level, it should be a bit stronger. But it's not super great. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, game changing. No, it's like kind of samey. I mean, if you get a really good effect, then that's great. Like, for example, let me check what effect I got. Yeah, they're a bit stronger roll damage wise as well. Okay, what did I get?
Always drops a shoot and dodge clap right here, as you can see.
Damage bonus and block. Enemies defeated. So damage bonus, if the enemy is defeated, it does nothing for me. Literally nothing. And block doesn't do anything for me either. Like, maybe it helps me block a little bit more, but it's not gonna change anything in the run, honestly. Okay.
Lantern Plant Fruit and 3 Spirit Stones. Man, we have just the necessary amount in Spirit Stones. Alright.
I think the best press fix would be probably higher grapple damage, actually.
Some more Heaven and Earth. We don't want to get hit by that. Not the
Because
best
that's when you deal the most damage
Yeah,
on the grapples.
Pop Yoga Shift. Gonna charge attack. There we go.
Here I could have done like a counter before the snake. It would have been a bit faster. I already said that later, but yeah.
That finishes the fight. Didn't go exactly as planned. I kind of messed up a little bit.
That's what I refer to right there. Because if you do 3 attacks and then the brute counter and then do the snake, then you set up the fight pretty much perfectly to just finish it. So I kind of didn't do that. Sometimes I forget. So.
Yeah, we're gonna be using Yatsu no Kami to destroy a crystal. Next up.
There's a lot of things to take into account in this run, so.
There we go. I'm actually gonna do this. There we go. And get this as shrine just in case.
Look at that Amino
So
Mahitotsu's
Yatsu no Kami
axe.
is actually gonna be easier this time around. Or at least it should be. Because of Kasha. Kasha is so powerful against enemies who don't have a resistance to fire. Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing and enter and buff and get to him. Heaven and Earth. Wait for an attack. Another Heaven and Earth, there we go. Okay. Now I can do some.
Right there, I knew that I had just enough time to fit that. He was gonna do like actually one of the worst attacks to punish me that, but I knew I was early enough to do that. Just filling up a little bit the damage there.
Some Kasha. Now finish the fight. There we go. So yeah, normally you have to watch out every time that you defeat a boss here, because there's enemies following you. It's quite concerning. Okay, so we're gonna update our Yatsu no Kami to the better one.
It's not super necessary, but
to get a bit more of an edge on our next fights. And yeah, next up is Kasha. We're gonna do the same thing as before, but it should be shorter even.
I don't know why, like the timer looks different on
Not the best RNG
on my
it's
OBS than it does on.
Yatsu no Kami.
Yo, roll the bar. Thank you for the 1,000 bits. I don't have the. Okay, one moment. Let me add this real quick. I think it's browser because I have like a bare bones thing. Alerts. Okay. Yeah, I'll replay it. I'll replay it. Thank you, Roldabar. Thank you for the 1,000 bits. Appreciate it. And yeah, I tried to give a better, as best as possible commentary. Also, hi Bloodmob, welcome. But yeah, I still fell short on some stuff, but it's honestly it's such a mechanic heavy game where so many details that expecting to explain everything in a marathon run is a bit too high standard, I guess.
Okay, shift. Slap. 1, 2, 3. And we can do another slap to finish. We'll need to grapple again.
Slap the Neko. Here I could have done a bit more menu actually.
I'm gonna wait a little bit here. There we go.
Didn't need to, I didn't really do much, but whatever.
Is that
Doesn't really matter too much.
Is not someone you want to mess with. It's longer to deal with him than not. Okay, so we're gonna do that and flash attack. So flash attack is basically keep pulsing and then switch a weapon, and the flash attack of a sword is really fast. So we take benefit from that.
Okay, let me check. Like I think the bonuses from that axe was not great. Strong attack key damage. Yeah. Damage bonus equipment lightness. It's nothing too great, honestly. It's nothing too great.
Switch to
Nothing game-changing.
We're gonna use some Jatsu no Kami.
Good stuff, but nothing game-changing.
There we go. Some menuing to optimize this fight a little bit. There we go. Some more match spinner.
You really don't really have much time to actually check the special effects. Sometimes, on rare occasions, I can actually check, and I've been able to do that decision making. But yeah, it's normally not what I do. Like sometimes I've gotten like 2 demon axes on a Yatsu no Kami.
Second phase.
And then I say, oh yeah, I have 2 demon axes that are almost the same, but one has higher grapple damage. So I go for that. Yeah.
And we do the same thing as before, but now I didn't explain it, but in the Dark Realm you actually get more anima than when you're not in the Dark Realm. Like for example, when you're hitting something, you get more anima. For example, I got 0.5 right there. That wouldn't be so much in.
I hate when I see that laser right there happening.
So I was a bit unlucky on the lasers. Lasers are the big time waste in this fight. Yeah, in this fight. Some more mud spinner, and we're gonna finish the fight. The setup here. There we go. Switch to the Shirohami to speed it up a little bit. And then get Sorki.
I didn't need to get Sorki at all. Sorki is for the DLC. But you know, whatever.
Not Masterful Slice. The Morning Moon, yes.
Damage boost stamina or Morning Moon is actually pretty useful. It makes breaking the.
Mainly for the.
It makes breaking the rocks in the next mission quite consistent. Like you break them faster. You normally don't need anything else apart from the Morning Moon, so it's pretty good.
Proficiency, shift and proficiency. All right. So next up is the last mission of this region, before the final region, and we have some time for donations.
Alrighty, we have $100 from Lily that says, $100 for this amazing showing of one of my favorite games of all time. I am so happy to be able to be a part of this amazing event with all the amazing people here. We have $50 from the Soothsayer that says, Nioh 2 is the best action game of its generation, and Axel decimates it with his high skill play. So skill. So wow.
Thank you, Suthi. Yeah, one more.
Yeah, I think it's the best action game.
We have $25 from Stoic Nod that says, excited for a week of awesome games done quick and happy to see the community coming together to help the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Thank you so much for that.
Alright, so next up we're gonna break a rock, and if we die right after the rock, I'll restart the mission. Okay. We didn't die right after breaking the rock. Nice. Why did I say that? If you die right after breaking the rock, this campus that we're gonna use and that are very, very useful, just to say, like, if you don't have this campus for these next fights, the fights are really, really bad. Like they are so bad to go against in a round. So yeah, if that happens, then those campus are not gonna appear. So yeah, in that case, I would have to
top 3
restart the mission.
What other 2 games are on your top 3?
For that to not happen ever since it happened like 2 or 3 times in the past. All right.
Prevent Cancer Foundation.
So we're gonna get the first campus right here.
That's the what the
Although I get
donations
the
are
scampus,
for
I'm
in
gonna
GDQ.
Get this right there. So now I have all of the shifting skills that I want, all the passives. And next up, I'm gonna actually not use Morning Moon to break the next rock because it's, in my experience, it's way too dangerous. So I prefer to just do this. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna level up once again. There we go. On stamina. Stamina is the main stat for the axe, that's why I level it up. And we're gonna switch from Shirohami to Makami, because now enemies are actually not gonna get poisoned. Or they are hardly gonna get poisoned, so it's more preferable to just get the benefits from Makami than from Shirohami.
Nothing to add there.
So we're gonna fight Tokichiro again. That's gonna be fun.
Well, I use the
we're
Lumisa
gonna
crystal to prepare the
Take profit
yokai
from
shift.
the properties of Titanic Strength for this fight.
Actually, I
in
have
order
a
to,
mistake here as well.
Cheese his parry spam. Yeah, there we go.
So right here, I mess up a little bit the key pulls. So I try to key pulls a bit too early, and it doesn't happen. So I have to try again. And yeah, I get a strong attack instead of like Heaven on Earth. Not Heaven on Earth, Titanic Strength. Well, you know, thankfully he didn't parry, so we're good.
Okay, that's not the one that I wanted, but it's fine, it works. Okay, we're gonna pop Kasha.
And yeah, Kasha
hopefully-
betrayed me.
No, too slow.
So meaning this fight is now faster. I mean, slower.
Okay, so not a good fight, but don't worry, I can manage. The cats can also manage quite well.
I could have used the snake earlier, but
Tokichiro
I prefer to
We're
do
gonna
it
buff
after the
with Purity. We're gonna use another Claybell of Beckoning that will
burst counter.
reset the buff from the Scampus, and letting us
I mean,
get
I think it's a classic
cats
like
to be full
helmet.
with
But
3
yeah.
cats. Come on.
Didn't get
Waiting
very
for the
lucky
most
here, but I
specific
managed to
attack
fix it.
That he always does. There we go.
Right here, I just went with. There we go. That was the most optimal thing to do, I think, in that situation.
There we go.
Doesn't make it any less stupid. So I say the same thing with Fuku's
he has
hat.
second phase, but we're gonna do this. Pop Kasha,
I hate it.
Yokai Shift.
It looks so stupid. Carry the Campus,
And
literally.
start doing some charge attacks and some yokai skill spam. There we go. That's that
Like-
deals with
Scampus carry you hard
Koji.
in this run. The Scampus carry you super hard on these two fights. Like in Shoot and Doji, it's it's whatever. It's like it makes things more consistent and faster, but it doesn't really carry you, right? In these ones, like the cats are like MVP. They are so good.
which without this campus, Skashin Koji is pretty bad to deal with. Okay, so we're
Not
on the
her.
last stretch of the run. We're going to the last region, consisting of two main missions. And before that, there's like a mission.
Yeah, they
that,
are.
It doesn't really have any gameplay. It's just cutscenes, so it's a good time for donations.
They are very powerful.
Perfect. We have $50 from Umbra Witcher, who says, "Love seeing Nioh 2 open AGDQ." We have $250 from Drailer that says, "Every year
I'll
I've been
upload
saving
this to
whatever money I
YouTube,
get for
this
Christmas and
commentary,
donating it to the
this
first GDQ of the
analyzing.
year. Happy to be able to keep this tradition going in 2022. Have a great week, everybody."
analysis, yes. English.
All right, so now we're on to the last region, the 7th region. And if you have played or seen Nioh 1, you're gonna recognize this boss quite a lot. It's William. And we're gonna cheese William.
It's more like bullying than chasing, honestly. But I actually do. I did something slightly riskier. At the start, who the fuck is William? If you played or saw Neo 1, then you should actually know who William is.
That's for sure. Okay, we're gonna pop Yokai ship right there.
If you don't, then you were literally not paying attention to
We do
anything.
not like his shenanigans. There we go. Gonna do a strong attack, root counter, do a 1 attack. There we go. That's William. The fight gets cut short because we're not actually the winners of that fight. In fact, we're actually in that fight. We're controlled by the Otakemaru spirit, which is going to be the final boss in this next mission.
William is the protagonist of Neo 1. You hate bosses you cannot kill. I mean, you literally don't want to kill him because the thing is, like I said here, when you play in that fight, in the lore, in the actual story, you're not in control. The Otakemaru. The Otakemaru spirit is in control of your body because you have it sealed within you. Like that's when William wakes you up, and the one that wakes up controlling your body is Otakemaru. And then William defeats you, just like what happens with Nobunaga Neo 1, more or less. And then after that, Otakemaru leaves your body, and now you're gonna fight Otakemaru. I don't remember exactly all the cutscenes, but that's more or less how it goes.
And against Otakemaru, we're gonna do the same strat as before. With
What do you mean
with
this
the
is
ball.
stupid?
And if everything goes well, I'm actually gonna skip his.
You wanna kill
second
William?
phase completely.
You don't want to kill William.
So let's see if that happens.
He's an ally.
I'm gonna use the Red Spire Lily. And we'll get there in.
Needs to know his place.
One particularity of this boss is that if you start like whatever yokai form that you start with, like for example I have
Yo,
right now.
Blood Mob, thank you for gifting 5 stars to the community. Thank you. Now you're gonna hear some alerts, by the way.
He's gonna start with that as well. So Brute is the more manageable one
Today.
of all of the ones. Personally, I think the Veil is
Thank you, Blood Mob.
but some people say Phantom. So yeah, we're gonna go and start with Brute. We're gonna hopefully kick.
お前を殺してでも
I'll let this go before we continue. Alright, I think that's all of them, right? Or is this 4? Okay.
Not ideal, but it's fine.
By the way, if you guys have any recommendations or like suggestions for alerts and all that stuff, let me know, especially on Discord. Yeah, for now, those are the main alerts that I have for all of this stuff.
Buff with water. I'm gonna shoot him once and twice. 1, 2, 3.
Honestly, I'm
That's Unokami.
like in terms of alerts and all that stuff, I'm like not very optimal with that because I I never know exactly what I want. So yeah, I gotta set up more stuff honestly, but I never remember to do it. So
Ever nerf. Grapple. Buff Liquidity. Rumble nerf.
enjoy the emos, by the way, Kichu.
1, 2. Use another Jatsu no Kami.
Yeah, that's true, Raldavar.
Yokai Shift and Grapple.
This fight went almost perfectly, by the way.
Charge attack. We're gonna use another Jatsu no Kami usage right there. And we're gonna finish the fight as soon as possible. There we go. Let's skip the second phase. GG. The fight will, the round will end in a few seconds when the screen goes black. So let's see.
Yeah, I got a crusher on Takamaru actually.
And 3, 2, 1. Time. Boom. All right. Hope you enjoyed it.
No,
Thanks to the Nioh community, by the way.
not really, Raldavar.
And Shade and Galazrini, which are
I'm thinking about doing
two
a couple of things. But
other main active runners
Thank you, Tony Wolf.
of the game. And yeah.
By the way, I want to do more shoutouts apart from this. It's just that in the moment I wasn't like thinking too clearly about who I would want to shout out. I would like to shout out to Orioles, Soothsayer, Puffer Lama, Dam Chicken Biryani, Shelot 93, Azura, Hidenoji, Brilliant Sands Gaming. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anyone. Pim the Mac. Am I forgetting someone? Like, remind me if you know. I think I am. Probably I am, honestly.
Let's
Yeah.
enjoy AGDQ.
And also, you know, other people from the speedrunning community as well. But I wanted to like talk about the people outside of the speedrun community because they can't help me. They have helped me quite a lot on all of this as well. So yeah, remember Shade. Shade is a record holder on many categories on PC. I think some others on PS4, and Galazrini also a runner on PC. But yeah, those are the active runners right now.
Spots, but,
besides me,
I'm overall I'm kind of happy with my performance, I guess.
and can I already not showing the cutscenes? Actually, I feel like I should have just shown the cutscenes. Oh, I like at the end.
Yeah, we're good to transition. Have a nice AGDQ, everyone. Bye bye.
Alright. Yeah, that concludes the analysis.